Hey, what's up, class? We are going to review for a probability test. Okay, 7th graders? Let's do this. It's going to be a little bit of a long video because I'm going to do a lot of examples for you, but you should be happy about that because the more examples you see, the more you'll be able to study them and do well on your test. You can use the video while you're doing the test, alright? It's an open notes test. Okay, so I'm going to get started and do some sample problems for you. Alright? Let's start with a simple one, okay? Let's start with a simple one. Let's say you are going to make a necklace, right? And you out of beads, and you have 10 green beads and 10 red beads and 10 blue beads, and you're going to string them up on a necklace. What's the probability if you had all these beads in a bag that you just reach in there right away and pull out a green bead? Green bead. What's the probability of getting a green bead? Well, how many beads do we have? 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30. 30 possible outcomes when you reach in there. There's 30 beads. How many are green? 10. 10 out of 30. We reduce that to 1/3. So the probability of getting a green bead is 1/3. The probability of a red bead is also 1/3. And the probability of a blue bead is 1/3. Cool? Let's do another one. Pause it, rewind it if you want to do it again. And you need to have the volume up because I'm really not going to write down all the questions, so you really have to listen to what I'm saying. Okay? All right, let's do another one. Okay. Number cubes. Remember, a number cube is like dice, right? Here's a number cube. Quick drawing, right? That's a number cube, and there's 6 sides, right? That's a number cube. It has 6 sides, so there's 6 outcomes, right? And each side has a number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Okay? So if I said, what is the probability you roll this cube or this piece of this piece of dice? What's the probability that you get a 1 when you roll it? Well, it's 1/6, right? What's the probability that you get a 3 if you roll this? Well, there's only one side with a 3, right? So it's also 1/6. Probability of a 2 is 1/6. Probability of a 5 is 1/6. What's the probability of getting a 7? 0, right? There's no side on there that's got a 7. Okay, so you know that knowledge. So what if this question said, what are the chances you roll the cube and get a number greater than 3? Let's say 4. Greater than 4. What are the chances you roll the cube and get a number greater than 4? Alright, so how many numbers are on the cube? Remember, there's 6 sides. So there's 6 numbers on the cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's your bottom number. How many of those numbers are greater than 4? Well, let's just list them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many of these numbers are greater than 4? It's just these two, right? 2 numbers. 2/6 is simplified to 1/3. That's your answer. If you roll the cube, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a number greater than 4. Cool. Let's keep going. Probably going to do I don't know how many. I might run out of time. Try to do at least 6 or 7. Okay. All right. let's say you are spinning a wheel for a prize. You are spinning a wheel for a prize. The wheel has 8 sections. The wheel has 8 sections, like this, right? Got a big wheel. It's got 8 sections, doesn't it? Right? It's got 8 sections. You're spinning a wheel. It has 8 sections. What's the probability? That little p just stands for probability. Some people write it like that. What's the probability of not a 6? And I'm going to number these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's say you spun this wheel. What is the probability that the arrow lands on something not a 6? All right. So first of all, how many sections are on there? 8. So that's our bottom number. How many of these sections are not a 6? That's not a 6. That's not a 6. Not. That is a 6. Not and not a 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip that one. 6, 7 out of 8 are not a 6. Okay, 7 out of 8 are not a 6. If it said, what's the probability of getting a 6, what would you say? That's right, you would say 1 out of 8. Okay? Cool. All right, let's do another one. Okay. All right. Let's say that you are going to pick out some clothes for school, and you have choices. You have 4 shirts. Sorry. You have 4 shirts to pick from, 3 pants, and let's say like 2 pairs of shoes. 2 pairs of shoes. How many different outfits can you make if you just pick? How many different outfits could you make out of these choices? All right. You might have one of these shirts paired with another pair of pants and another shoes, or you could switch up the shoes, right, a different day. How many different pairs of outfits can you make? Well, it's simple. You just take these 3 numbers and you multiply them all together. 4 times 3 times 2 equals 24 outfits. Believe it or not, you can make 24 different outfits just out of 4 shirts, 3 pants, and 2 pairs of shoes. Okay? Next. Do a couple more. All right? Okay. Let's do another wheel problem. All right. Let's say we have a wheel with 4 sections. Okay, so you can land on 4 things. Let's say you can land on blue, red, green, or yellow. Okay. For you to win the prize, you have to land on red 4 times in a row. That's tough, right? What's the probability you can spin the wheel and land on red 4 times in a row. Well, let's think about it. How many sections are on the wheel? 4 sections, so there's our bottom number. And how many of those sections are red? Just 1. So if it was an easy problem, it would just say, what is the probability of landing on red 1 time? The first time, it would be 1 out of 4. But we don't have to do it 1 time to win. We need to do it 4 times in a row. So you simply say 1/4 times 1/4, or it's like 1/4 to the 4th power, which means 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. If it said 3 times in a row, you would only have to write it 3 times. If it said 2 times in a row, you would only have to write it down twice. But for 4 times in a row, we have to say 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. And that equals, I'm going to try to do this in my brain. I might screw this up. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. And 64, I'm not doing 64 times 4. So I'm going to use the calculator. I'm not feeling it. Okay, it's 256. 1 out of 256. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is 256. So you would only be able to do this usually 1 in 256 times. That would be kind of hard, right? If you were able to do it like the first try, you got very lucky, very lucky. Cool. Let's do another one. We're only going to do a couple more. Okay? It's almost time for my next class. Let's see. Let me pick out a good one. All right. Let's say there was a bunch of marbles in a bag. Let's say there was 200 marbles in a bag. 10 were made of gold. What are the chances you could reach in the bag without looking and pull out a gold marble? Well, this one's as simple as it seems. There's 200 total marbles. How many are gold? 10. All right, so the answer, you have a 10 and 200 chance of getting a gold marble out. Of course, we would simplify this to 1 out of 20 chance of getting gold. Okay? 1 in 20. Not too bad for gold, right? All right. Let's do one more. I'm going to pick out the one that I think might be the hardest one. Let's see. Okay. Last one. All right. Let's say you're doing a survey in school. You want to find out what is the entire school's favorite subject in school. Okay, you want to figure out the entire school's favorite subject: math, language arts, art, music, PE, social studies, whatever. And let's say you interviewed one class. Let's say you interviewed Mr. Bristow's homeroom. And Mr. Bristow's homeroom, let's say you interviewed 20 people, and 11 out of 20, their favorite subject, this was the most popular one, 11 out of 20 was art. Let's say they loved art. Over half the kids liked art. Based on this, let's figure out let's take a good guess at how many kids in the entire school liked art. To know this, we're going to make up a number. We're going to say that HMS, Hopton Middle, has 200 kids. So Hopton Middle has 200 kids. We have more, but let's just say we have 200. How many like art? The most. how many like art the most, okay? What you do is you say, well, if 11 out of 20 in Mr. Bristow's homeroom liked art, how many out of 200 total kids liked art? So you would say 1120 times 200. And let's see what that is. Okay, 11 20 times 200. So, and I get 110. So that makes sense. That's the answer. If 11 out of 20 loved art, probably out of the school, about 110 would maybe like art the best. Okay? That should help you a little bit on your test. Good luck. I'm going to give it to you tomorrow after school. Bye.